This is a really good point. What if there is a problem? Am I going to be able to get parts? Well, yeah. You're right to be aware of that. The issue that we have to really stop and internalize, breathe in entirely is, do we see DCR pumps going bad, or do we see DCR pumps going bad with any regularity? Obviously, it's a man-made part. It's a rotating assembly. There's stuff inside there that moves. Yeah. Is it reasonable that at some point it's going to go bad? Yes. At what frequency will it go bad compared to the CP4? The CP4 goes bad all the time. We see story after story after story about the CP4 pump failing. And yes, ready parts availability. You're not wrong about that. 100% right. The DCR pump, we don't see story after story after story of it going bad. And yes, there's one company, but the SNS people, they are solid. They are good people. They will bend over backwards, and so will we. It's not like we don't have these things on the shelf. So we have these things on the shelf. So if you have a problem, we'll hook you up, so you don't have to worry about it. And overnight shipping, a lot of you, so you're in the middle of Timbuktu on a road trip with your family. You're off seeing, the Everglades or something, or you're off in, the middle of nowhere. Insert state here that qualifies. There's plenty of beautiful countryside in this amazing nation that God gave us. So you're in the middle of a Montana, Wyoming, a Utah, where it's just like, this really is God's country. Look around, Montana, who knew? They call it Big Sky Country, and now I'm looking one side, I'm looking at the other side, it's Big Sky Country. And there's no picture that's going to do that justice, folks. If you go to like a Montana, you don't realize that there's a God out there, I don't know what's wrong with you, okay? It's fine. So we can have that debate offline. This is not a religious channel, not intended to be a religious channel, but it's a conversation about awareness. This DCR conversation is a conversation of awareness too. Recognize we can overnight ship this thing to a Bozeman, Montana, or the middle of nowhere, Utah, or the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, or yes, even overnight it to Los Angeles if you happen to be in LA and this happens. So recognize the truth of all this. The frequency that the DCR pump fails is so infrequent. The frequency that the CP4 pump fails is so frequent. And yes, you're going to be able to get a CP4 at more locations. That's 100% true. But as people continue to see the effectiveness of the SNS implementation with the DCR, I don't know. I'm not so sure you're not going to be able to find an SNS DCR replacement locally, because they are just killing it. Their product quality is superb. And if you just can't find it locally, we can overnight you one. So I wouldn't worry about that as a reason why. But your mileage may vary, and there's nothing wrong with buying the disaster prevention kit if you don't have the cash. I know it's like a fourth the money, right? And so that's a good reason to spend a fourth the money. But please don't spend a fourth the money thinking that your CP4 pump isn't going to die. Even if you do the Hot Shot Secret lubricity thing that we talked about in other videos, even if you use some other additive that increases the likelihood, even if you change out your fuel filters more often, still the propensity for the CP4 pump failing is higher. And you're going to have to get into that mechanic. They're going to spend half a day getting up in there. You got to get on their schedule. They got to have room on their schedule to even get to you. If you go to a mechanic shop and they can get you in right then, I instantly have a whole set of questions about how good are they at their job. They should be backed up. If they're backed up, that's the shop that you want to go to. And so now you're waiting anyway. And so it's like, if you're waiting anyway, why wouldn't you want to wait anyway and get your DCR pump replaced by them if the DCR pump should fail, because we can get it to you overnight? So that's just my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. You paid so much for this commentary. I know you did. It's just a way of looking at it. So look at it as you want to. We'll support you with anything you want to do. You want to buy a CPX pump, you want to buy a CP4 pump, you want to buy a DCR pump, you want to buy the SNS Disaster Prevention Kit version 2.1. We'll hook you up with anything that you want to be hooked up with, and no judgment zone, right? 100%. I understand the reasons why someone would take all of these paths. So what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Options are good. So I hope this helps. FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together.